Hello, welcome to my video. Um, Inner child healing is what we're working on today again. Um, from Grounded Roots Healing, or I think it's a healing, Grounded Roots Healing, I got a little bit of feedback on my last video, and I'm grateful for him. Uh, I was shown that by watching his videos, that a lot of people on their early awakening journey can't remember their inner child self, that can't remember um, memories, even. And this triggered me into thinking of what's my earliest memory, because I lived a little differently than a lot of other people, and my inner child like remembers a lot of things. And I think this is what she's willing to talk about here today. Um, she wants to talk about her experience this life of 0 to 1. And my earliest memory, this was 6 months probably, was somewhere in 0 to 6 months. I came in with one thing on my mind over and over and over and over and over again, would replay. Where is the love? The question, where is the love? Where is the love? There's supposed to be love. Where is the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? It was like a mantra. And I remember looking for it in family members. I remember not finding it. Um, my definition of love was like connection, compassion, that safety that you would feel in a place that you haven't developed yet for yourself. Like, where is this safety? Where is this love? And I went from being baby to like whatever the age is where you learn to sit up. I remember being in a I was I remember being in a freaking bedroom on a bed, and I had just learned to sit up, and I was kind of wobbly at it, and I had an older sibling that came in. I was unattended in this room first off, and as a parent I would never do this. um I don't know why I was there. I don't know what that was about. It was like my parents had just got these new beds for my older siblings and had just put them together. And I was like left in the room, sitting on the bed, just like touching uh, the coverings on the bed coverings, basically the different colors on them. I remember looking at it, and my older sibling, which was 7 years older than me, um, came running in the room and purposely like plopped down on this bed and created like a tsunami wave across the bed. It was almost like she did it on purpose, running full blast, and like just totally sent me catapult flying like head first into a metal bar that busted my nose so hard. It was the most extreme pain I'd ever experienced. There was blood going everywhere. I started like crying as a baby, and I remember hearing my mother in another room say, "What's the matter with her?" And my sister saying, uh, "She fell and hit her face," or whatever. And I remember in that moment, as that baby, going, "That is a lie," and being offended, slighted, let's say. being like, yeah, I fell, but why did I fall? And like, she got away with it. And I realize now, looking back at that through my awakening journey, that like, I knew at 6 months old, or however old it is where you sit up as a baby, what was a lie and what was truth, or what was half truth. And I remember feeling her satisfaction for getting away with it. Like, this sibling of mine never particularly liked kids. And it was very blatantly obvious as I got older. Um, I love her dearly, but she never like was the mothering type, let's say. Um, but if you look at those two things, where is the love? How did I know about love? How did I know about connection? Why was I seeking it so desperately and not finding it? And how many of you have done the exact same thing? It was like in those moments as a kid, like I had to self soothe, self look out for myself in ways that I never thought I would have to. And I pulled an inner child card today, an oracle card for it, and it says grateful for the storm. Number 10 might be significant for you. Um, and I think about that tsunami wave and what it taught me. It taught me that there's deceit in the world straight out the gate. Like, I'm grateful to know that I knew right from wrong. I'm sure they did too. And like that there were people in this world that were going to choose not to do right. I'm really struggling with this one today. I see this little cat as herself soothing herself, even though things are windy, and she's like just looking like, what is even going on? Where even am I? Why am I here? I feel like as parents, sometimes we take care of our kids, we clothe them, we get them going and stuff, but it's like there's little things that we don't see, like maybe the storm that's going to come in and just blow you off your path. Like, I don't even know. Let's see what comes in for this kid with the storm. Let's look at the Light Seer's Tarot. God, guide my hands, guide my words, guide my message, guide my collective. The highest good of all. I'm seeing these little bumps in the road as a storm. Sorry, I got 6 of Cups, Ace of Swords, which is the truth, and 6 of Swords. So 6, 2 sixes might be important to you. I see these early childhood memories as the truth that drives our boat, of where we go, what we listen to, what we talk to, who we talk to. It's like if you didn't feel safe as a kid, you're not going to feel safe with anybody in your surroundings that even reminds you of that person, place, or thing. And it's like it can keep you stuck. Bottom of the deck. It can keep you stuck for a very long time. can keep you stuck in the past. It can keep you stuck in your head. It can keep you stuck in the water, your emotions. I learned early on that I couldn't trust getting what I needed for myself from the outside world. It taught me to go in, find my own truth, find my own path, find my own way through those very storms. It taught me to plug in to my source self, which I didn't realize I was doing, which has guided me still to this day. Many of you might not remember your earliest memories, but I guarantee you, if you look at your triggers, your inner child triggers, where you don't feel safe on a level that's like almost childlike. It reminds you of your childhood where you didn't feel safe or accepted or loved or nourished or important. All those areas have driven your boat, and if you can turn off inside of yourself those responses and parent yourself the way that you wish somebody else would have parented you, because this one might be capable on the outside, but on the inside they were not prepared. Many of us were prepared on the outside but not on the inside, or vice versa, on the inside but not on the outside. Use these things as blocks to build the love, the stability, the acceptance. Like, recognize that inner child. Like, in my experience, I would then say to that inner child self, yes, you're right. She did do that on purpose. Are you mad at her? No. Do you forgive her? Yes. It took me a really long time to realize that these people had no love too. You're surrounded by a bunch of people that have no love for themselves or each other, and they're trying to raise you. Your family is your first matrix in this matrix world. Your family matrix is the first matrix that you came into. Surviving it is one thing. Not letting it wreck your world is the next. Or influence your ways that you parent your own children, because how many times, to those that are parents anyway, how many times did you run into situations where you would do something on default, and like the answer was something that you knew from your childhood, and you're like, wait a minute, I find myself reenacting this thing again, and it didn't work then, so why am I using it now? Like, be willing to throw those things away and be like, no, like, if you even make something up in that moment, it's better than passing on what you already had that did not work for you. Striving for better for everybody. On the back of this card, it has an affirmation. It says, I am open to the blessings of the storm. I am open to the blessings of the storm. And show gratitude for the storm. It showed you which way to go. So if in my story today, her lie, her half-truth taught me that I was aimed at truth. That I was offended by somebody else's untruth or half-truth. It showed me in that moment, where I wouldn't have even had a memory of being 6 months old, or however old it is where you learn to sit up. I wouldn't have remembered that. And to me, that is a gift, and I am grateful for that storm. All right, is there a Mother Mary message that can come through to help with this message here today? Let's pull a card and see what she has to say. I love my sibling dearly. She could give it like no other, I have to say. Alright, back to the message. What does this collective need to hear today for the highest good of all? It's okay, so I got number 50. And number 2. Number 50 says, if one loveth thyself in wholeness, then one will hold true to the divine love of their sacred partner, for one sees no other before them. I'd say this was learning to love myself the way that somebody else didn't love or value myself. And it taught me a lot. Number 2, it taught me a lot about myself, about the world, about self-love, I would say. Valuing myself as a child, even when no one else or nothing else around me could value me the way that I knew I needed to be valued, the way God values us. No matter what, like, we are God's children, the ancient child of God, that is us. Number 2 says, thou that does not wish to unfold the truth of thy heart remains in the misery of time. It took me a long time to be able to look at that and say, you did that on purpose. And you got away with it. And nobody knows it but me and God. Like that hurt. It hurt my heart. It hurt my face. Metal to the face is not fun. Any abuse is not fun. That was my first memory of sibling abuse, let's say. I didn't even know you could be abused by a 7-year-old. I didn't know a 7-year-old could be used as a weapon. Like, honestly, seriously. It really makes you rethink your childhood a little bit. And your relationships with others on a new level. I'm asking you guys, God's asking you guys to admit the truth. That you might not remember the memories, but they're in there. They're stairs. As you climb your ascension, you're going to find them. You're going to remember them. And you're going to remember your purity. You're going to remember your innocence. You're going to remember your light. You're going to remember your source connection. And you're going to shine. And you're going to speak. And you're going to do things that benefit everyone instead of just the few. You're going to change the world. One person at a time. I'm seeing this black bird flying off. Yeah, it's flying away. There's a lot of sacred geometry in this card too. Math and equations. I'm seeing that black bird is breaking the bonds of past lives, of past life trauma that leads into this life trauma, where you're let's say enemies were surrounding you as your family members, which many of us have had. You're breaking the bonds, you're breaking the chains, you're getting quicker each lifetime. You're learning to spot it before it can fly in. That's almost like you spotting it in advance, even at 6 months old, and causing it to fly back out. You're aware of it, but you're aware that it was there, but it's no longer influencing your mind. It's no longer influencing your choices, your decisions, your growth as an adult. It's no longer driving your boat. You're casting these ones out, these birds out, and you're choosing which ones allow you to drive your boat. Those were your thoughts, your own intentions, your own truth. You're only responsible for what's yours. You're not responsible for what other people do. You're only responsible for what you do. How you choose to live, how you choose to respond, how you choose to grow, what you choose to pass on to the next generation, to your kids. You're only responsible for that. And at some point, they're responsible for it themselves after that. I would like to acknowledge that you guys bring in the light. May my light of my story light up your inner childhood stories, instances, and experiences to help you better navigate in this world. I think that's it. Thank you for coming to listen to my message today. This was spur of the moment. I didn't put a lot of thought into this. I saw the Grounded Roots healing video that I just posted on my channel, and the two of them actually, and it kind of spurred this on, so let's see where it goes. I hope you're all having an awesome day. I'll see you next time. Thank you.